All right, Dad, go.
The outlook wasn't pleasant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-2, but with an inning left to play. So when Cooney died at first and Burroughs did the same, a sickly silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to go, leaving there the rest, with the hope that springs eternal within the human breast. For they thought if only Casey could get a whack at that, they'd put up even money with Casey at the bat. But Flynn preceded Casey, and likewise so did Blake. The former was a puddin', the latter was a fake. So upon that stricken multitude grim melancholy sat, for there seemed but little chance that Casey's getting to the bat. But Flynn let drive a single to the wonderment of all, and the much despised Blakey tore the cover off the ball. And when the dust had lifted and they saw what had occurred, there was Blakey safe at second and Flynn a hugging third. From the benches black with people went up a muffled roar, like the beating of storm waves on a stern and distant shore.
Distant shore.
It rumbled through the valley.
It rumbled through the mountain top, it rattled in the dell, it sounded on the hillside and rebounded to the flat. For Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing and a sneer on Casey's face. And when he, responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat, no stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat.
I love this. Sorry, Dad.
Close by the sturdy bat,
10,000 eyes.
10,000 eyes were on him as he wiped his hands with dirt. 10,000, 5,000 tongues applauded as he wiped him on his shirt. And,
Well, then the writhing pitcher.
well, the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip. Defiance gleamed in Casey's eye. A sneer curled Casey's lip.
Now the leather-covered sphere.
And now the leather-covered sphere come hurtling through the air. And Casey stood a-watching his haughty grandeur there. Close by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped. That ain't my style, said Casey. Strike one, the umpire said.
From the benches.
From the benches, black with people, went up a muffled roar, like the beating of storm waves on a stern and distant shore. Kill the umpire, cried someone in the stand. It's likely they'd have done it had not Casey raised his hand. With a look of Christian charity, great Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising tongue, and he bade the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher. Once more the sphere flew, but Casey still ignored it. The umpire said, strike two. Fraud, cried the maddened thousands, and the echo answered, fraud. But one scornful look from Casey and the audience was awed. They saw his face grow stern and cold. They saw his muscles strain. They knew that Casey wouldn't let that ball go by again.
The sneer is gone.
No,
The sneer is gone.
The sneer is gone from Casey's lips. His teeth are clenched in hate. He pounds with cruel violence his bat upon the plate. Now the pitcher holds the ball, and now he lets it go. And now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Oh, somewhere in this favored land, the sun is shining bright. The bands are playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light. Somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out.
but I thought he hit the ball. No, he just swung and missed. Oh, poor Casey.